Okay, we're going live again. We're going to get some details out again around the internet and so on. We got this multiplayer league, stream link. We're about to do a Selection Sunday show. And it's college basketball, of course, people. And getting the word out. It's a little bit of a different twist. Okay, that, now this, now this. Okay, let's get going here with the Selection Sunday show. Brought to you by CBGM, College Basketball General Manager, and GM Games, who hosts this league. And 10 minutes, there's an ad break, so I better get moving pretty soon. Okay, with that in mind, I think everyone's kind of still here. We're going to go now to the show. Here it is. Hopefully EC Hood will come in and see the show. All right, so we're definitely not skipping this. We're watching that. And I'm going to go game by game, so there'll be play-ins and all that. And, of course, the tourney has Cinderella stories, all that. EC Hood put together a bracket prediction called Dance Partners, building a better bracket. He had two-part series. He's got some selection thoughts. And with that, we're going to move to the next game. So it's Furman and Montana State is the first game of the play-in in Dayton. So neither team, I think, is owned by a human being. And next up here, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I snooze the ad break. It's in 8 minutes anyways. Snooze for 5 minutes. Okay, anyways. Next up after that, South Dakota. Dakota is going to play Fairfield. So I'm not sure EC Hood... it'd be pretty hard to call which of these teams are in play-ins. But these teams won their conference, so therefore they had to be on a list. And then next up, West Virginia, Middle Tennessee. So they're in, barely. Good tournament from JLS Sandal. Middle Tennessee, I think, run by Ago. So that's a play in there. West Virginia is in the tournament. Next up, George Mason's going to be playing LSU. So LSU, wow, fall from grace. Tom Williams, Final Four. They're back in the tournament somewhat. They got to play in to get in there. That might mean they have to play a number one seed, but as a number one seed, you don't really want to play LSU. But they just made it in. So I believe that's AK, LSU getting into the tournament. And the number one seed with no real concern. Thinking about that, UConn gets one of them in Raleigh. And joining in the Raleigh bracket, Dame is at the number 2. So Agalia has to be the one to stuff Kev BK out at the end of this bracket, if that's the way it plays out. That ACC championship turned into a number 2 seed still. Next up, Texas A&M Aggies with none other than Graham going up against Old Dominion and and Lloyd. And after that, we have Wichita State. So I'm in there with the Shockers. Juan Herrera, amazing guard. Matchup with Graham. We just had this matchup in the final of that conference, so it's kind of lame. But yeah, so Kev's got to possibly play me if I get that far. Rhode Island, Purdue. So look at that. So Purdue is in, and Spider runs that team, and EC Hood's Rhode Island team is the 5-12 upset special matchup in this bracket. It's a tough one. Florida, Missouri is in, so Spider was right. Calling out EC Hood, saying not seeing his team, but it's hard to be right about every single team. But the 18-14 record team is in, playing Florida. Not a great record, but these are a lot of good teams in this bracket with Bubba. And the Bonnies are in, and you got Dave Sparkon with Oklahoma. So the Bonnies make it in, Aggo. And next up after that, the last but not least, another one of my teams, the Canes, who won the ACC tournament last season, Wisconsin and Blazer Taz. So this is a tough road for UConn with the undefeated record. I got 2 cracks at UConn to try to take them out on the way. So next after that, VCU gets the number 1 rank. Adam Scott, their big star, with Cuse. So we got Lenny Wren's team and Brandon there. He's playing Cal State Fullerton. You got Texas. You got Grant on this side with, I think Spider runs SIUE. Incarnate Word, I believe that's a team with Coffee playing Charlotte. So Charlotte's in with Bill. So interestingly enough there, Bill, there's your squad. I believe that's Bill's. Evansville, so that's another AK team. 5-12, Virginia actually doesn't come in as a 16, sorry. They do come in as the 12 seed playing game. A couple better teams. Hawaii is in. Great record. Blazer Taz. Eastern Kentucky. Nice to see Hawaii ranked 25 as well. Oh, sorry, Bill. Yeah, you're Seattle. So who am I thinking of? I know he likes to post stories every day, so my mistake. Troy, Georgia Southern. So Agalia's got another team in there. And last up, Bama. This is desired, but I think I'm pretty much going to chop that guy. He hasn't really done much work for his teams. Colorado State in that bracket. Indianapolis is done. We're in Houston now. Minnie does get one. A number 1. And Minnesota is going to be running this bracket. They got Oregon as their 2. So Graham and Brown and whatnot. Then we have Florida State. You got just a sample there at the number 3 with Miami of Ohio getting a ranked team that well. And now, Bill, here you go. Here's Seattle. So that doesn't... If you had to play a 4, I mean, this MAC team, maybe they're pretty suspect. I think that's a good chance for you. And then we have Butler, which you can't count them out with Coffee. They usually could do well, but LSU could be who they face. And after that, Maryland, North Carolina. Good matchup there. Old ACC teams, but now Maryland in the Big Ten. Matched up with Nick the Nuts, North Carolina's team, and another Coffee team in the same bracket. Coppin State gets a 7. Playing Western Michigan. So that's interesting. Coppin State with a pretty good lineup. And another one of the rest of my teams, I guess, in this bracket. No, I still got St. Francis somewhere. Arizona State, Portland. So Pac-12 team has a chance to take a punch at Mini in the second round. Louisville gets the number 1 still, even after the loss. Howard Barr, they still love him. K-State, number 2. Big win in that conference tournament, brings them into the number 2 spot. St. Mary's gets to play another St. Francis, Team Canada St. Francis. And that'll be Chuck. And OK State, another one of Chuck's teams. We play DWK's Duke team. And Colorado is in. Agalia's next team is in. Toledo is in. So that's one of Warlord, I think, Chuck's teams. Yeah. So that matchup's happened 5-12. Baylor is in. I can't believe the record on Baylor. They're usually never this bad. Tough matchup with Kev BK's low SAT scored team or school. So Hartsfield there. I think that guy's name. So that's a good lineup Baylor has to play. Not looking good there. South Carolina. So Saralu. South Carolina playing Charleston. In that matchup there. And last, Nevada and Arkansas are in. So if you haven't heard your team called out, it's looking like you're not dancing. You're going to be in the NIT or even worse. And that's a wrap here, folks, as they say. So thank everybody coming for the Selection Sunday show. Catch the article, watch it again live, or not live, but replay on the website if you didn't get your fix right away. Okay, thanks everybody. See you in Discord.